Hey guys, it's Miss Pittman. I am sorry I have to be away today. I have to do some work prepping for testing season. So I wanted to make a little recording. That way, those that were working on the writing assignment know what to do for those last few steps, and to remind you guys what to do as far as your choices this week for your assignments. All right, so let's remember we have our week one quiz due. These are the things in the assignments that should be completed. Week one quiz, your discussion post, your week three quiz, and your week four quiz. Remember, if you're on the haiku track, just move through the haiku track. If you're behind on the epic track, check your graded assignments module. There you will find those things. Listen, IA5 opens up tomorrow, okay? But please remember when we get our into our IAs that we don't want to rush through that test. Remember our strategies that tomorrow when it's open, just open it up, see what questions you know, answer those, take note of the ones that you don't know, and then schedule out your week to be sure that you have time to study and prepare for those questions that you don't know so that you don't rush through and Christmas tree the test. We will have time on Tuesday in our testing party to spend working towards researching or studying those questions that you don't know in our testing party. So please don't rush through that test tomorrow. Just use the time to look over it and see what you need to study and make yourself a study guide and come with that on Tuesday. And then we will have work time on Tuesday that you can work through that study guide. Okay, so choices. Just to remind what we did on Tuesday in class. Remember, we have choices. If you are behind, you have not completed all of your assignments, you need to complete those assignments and earn your 70 on your big assignment, okay? That's your first goal. Don't mess with anything else until you catch up all your quizzes and your discussion post. If you do that and you take your IA and you have more time, then you can revisit these other options. But for right now, if you're behind, do all of your quizzes and your discussion post and take your IA starting tomorrow. Then if you have time next week, you can revisit one of these other options. Now, if you are all caught up, you have two options, okay? You can take the alternative poetry test. It's a multiple choice test with a couple of short answers, okay? A couple of short answer questions. You can work on that test, or you can complete the writing assignment. We worked through some of the steps of the writing assignment on Tuesday in class. So if you're interested in that assignment and you want to see those beginning steps that I don't go through today in this recording, please revisit the recording from Tuesday's class. So you can either do the alternative test or the poetry writing assignment. If you have your 70, and you're satisfied and you just want to spend this time focusing on your IA and taking your IA, that's a perfectly fine choice, okay? Now, disclaimer, if you have a 95 in the class and you did the Life of Pi alternative assignment and you did well on your IA4, when I put the 70 into the gradebook, it will drop your grade probably 3 or 4 points. So if you choose to take the 70, just be aware that it will lower your grade. And so you just have to weigh out where you are with your other classes and, is those few points worth it, because you need to catch up other places and study for your IA. So it's just choices, okay? So for those of us that are taking the alternative poetry test or are going to take your 70 and go, or that need to catch up on their quizzes, you stop the recording right now, go to your OHS, catch up on your quizzes and your discussion post, work on the alternative poetry test, or go study for your IA. So you don't need to listen any further if those are the choices you're making. Those of us that are choosing the writing assignment, hang with me, and we will go through those last few steps so that you know how to finish it up, okay? All right, I'll pause just for a second so that you guys can go where you need to go. Those that are leaving, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you all at our testing party on Tuesday. All right, those that are still with us that are working on the writing assignment, remember in Tuesday's recording and Tuesday's class, we work through the title, paraphrase, connotation, and attitude section of the writing assignment, okay? Remember, you are going to use the handout that I file transferred to you on Tuesday. If you're still with me and you didn't hang in class on Tuesday, you've got to visit that recording so you can grab that sheet. Okay, remember, you got to grab that sheet. All right, we're going to go right on into the shift portion of this assignment since we went over those others in class on Tuesday. So make sure if you weren't in class to revisit that section. Okay, so the shift portion. Okay, notice in your sheet here, is there a shift in the tone or attitude of the poem or song? Remember, you're looking at a song or a poem. Is there a shift? What do I mean by shift? Is there a change in how the author feels or how the singer feels? Okay, is there a shift? Were they happy and then they became sad, or were they sad and they became happy? Or was there a shift in how they feel? Let's look at our 1,000 years here. The speaker's attitude about life and his situation changes with age. At the beginning of the song, remember, he was 15. And then as we go through, he's no longer 15. And he becomes somewhat, his tone about 15 is no longer limiting, but nostalgic, which means that he's more reflective and he values his youth instead of wanting to wish it away like he did at the beginning. So that is a change in how he feels, okay? It's a change in how he feels. So look at your song and see if you can find a change in how he feels, okay? Now, once you find that shift, you're going to write that in a paragraph. Remember, once again, you're going to use your lyrics to support that change that you see. So here's an example of how to do that with 1,000 years, okay? Now, what I'd like for you to do is to pause the video, pause this recording, take the time to go ahead and look for that shift and use the model that's on the screen to help you complete that section of your writing. So go ahead and pause and complete the shift section. When you're ready to move on, hit play, and then we will look at the next section. Okay? Now, project title. We're going to revisit the title again. Okay, so we talked about the title at the very beginning. What does that mean? Now we're going to revisit it. Does it have a deeper meaning after the song has evolved or changed? Okay, does that title have a deeper meaning? Or do you have any new insights that provide meaning to the poem? Does it now provide new meaning? So let's look at this example. The conclusion of the poem, the speaker realizes that life is moments, and we only, if we are lucky, have 100 years to live. So what we do with the 100 years is important. Okay, so notice how the title now has deeper meaning. Okay, now it has deeper meaning. So pause your video, take some time to look at your title of your poem or song and see if you can connect that title to the song. I also think about our example that we used with Christina Aguilera's Beautiful when we worked with Socrative and how you came up with ideas there. Okay, pause your video. Go ahead and work on your title section. The next section is theme. Remember, a theme is that message that the song or the poem is trying to relay to you. Okay, they're trying to relay to you. What is that message that it is trying to relay to you? So let's look at an example. Okay, let's look at an example. The theme, and a lot of times it's going to connect to that insight that you had in the title. Okay, let's look at this example. The overall theme or message of the poem is to value every stage in life. Notice how that's similar to the title insight, y'all. Even though you might feel trapped at certain stages, like 15, when you have less control of your life, there's always a positive at every stage. Life is short and fleeting. You should appreciate being alive no matter what you are going through. Even though 100 years seems like a lot of time, in the grand scheme of human existence, it is really short. Enjoy every second. The possibilities are endless at any age. You should enjoy your existence as if you were living through the eyes of a wide-eyed 15-year-old throughout your existence on the planet. Okay, so look at that explanation, and you should see how it actually expands on what the title revisit was expanding on. Also, you should see how this explanation connects back to everything as we built down, right? From the connotation all the way to the attitude to the shift, okay? And it's creating this one message that's the theme. You should see how it all builds down to create that one paragraph, okay? Go ahead and pause your recording. Go ahead and pause your recording and work on your theme section right now. Go ahead and pause the recording and work on the theme section right now. All right, so hopefully, now that you have come through the 2 recordings of Tuesday's class and Thursday's class, those of us that are still working on this writing assignment, hopefully you now have a completed assignment. You go ahead and submit that assignment. The chart is what I want. Ms. Pittman does not want an essay. She doesn't want it all copied and pasted and anything. I just want that chart, just as you have it that you got on Tuesday in Tuesday's recording or Tuesday's class. I just want that chart. You could go ahead and submit that to your Dropbox, okay? Hit save and submit that to the Dropbox, and then you're done, okay? Remember, IA5 opens up tomorrow. We are not going to rush through IA5. You're going to open up that test tomorrow, answer the questions that you know, and as we always do, create a study guide with those that you do not know, okay? So that you know what to go through with your resources to be better prepared for IA5, okay? I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for hanging with me to get this writing assignment done. I hope that you found this helpful, and we will talk very soon. See you later.